Turn on the news to watch the weather report with Doppler Dave. And they had the little Chicago asshole in Africa, by embracing our neighbor as an equal. Well, that's not true. Because we're not living Psalms or Proverbs, and we haven't delivered ourselves from evil with the Lord's Prayer, you billionaire mouthpiece. You trillionaire mouthpiece. What an asshole. He's an asshole. Don't get mad at him and don't get angry or violent. You're an asshole too. You won't stand up for the Lord's Prayer either. Okay? Asshole is who's a bigger fool, the fool or the one who follows it, right? It's Alec Guinness, right? Mouthing gibberish from George Lucas, right? He was one of the greatest actors of all time. Greatest actors. Okay. You know what an actor is, right? An equivocator, a liar. Okay. What's great about acting? Okay. Sir Alec Guinness, that. Okay. Sir Laurence Olivier, this. Okay. Horatio, I knew him well, right? Shut up, motherfucker. Okay. You get like that, man. When you're the Messiah, you're like, damn. And I'm getting better understanding. I went there and I went back into my stuff, and Suzuki's like, just keep doing, as long as you can connect to the technology and it's, you feel you can survive it psychologically and physically, keep doing it. So I put the military stuff back in. And I realized, all the people in the military, like that little guy at the Mormon church in Sierra Vista, I had the thing to do the sacrament, and we all got together, and I did the sacrament on Sunday at the aircraft carrier. Right? And I'm sitting there, that's great, good ideas, guys. That's putting your little noodles together and doing what's right. And old Petty John or whatever, Pettigrew or whatever his name was, sits there and goes, no, you have to get written permission from your bishop to do that. Okay, in the meantime, they're in a war zone with those. I was like, no. I looked at him and like, don't listen to him. You know what the fuck he's talking about. I think you guys handled that quite well. To do what you felt was religiously appropriate for, survival mode in that kind of a situation. I think you guys handled yourself quite well. He said that, they said, I hold the priesthood in my church, so all the Catholics and the Protestants got together and said, this guy will perform sacrament. And old bishop of the church said, no, that's not right. You have to get written permission. Okay, remember Jesus? When he did that and got in trouble, that's what that one guy in town told me, What got your Jesus killed was telling everybody they can do their own prayers, that God's omniscient and omnipotent. And you can't see God any more from the dark side of the moon than you can looking at your little girl's eyes when she says, I love you, Daddy, and giving you a pizza hug. And if you think going into space for a bunch of mass murderers to put equipment up to perpetuate mass murder through genocide, through economics, is more godly and beautiful than seeing your daughter be happy because Daddy loves her and helps provide for her and protects her and takes care of her, you are one sick fuck. I have no business being business partners with people that have a virtual present in my wife's and kids' bedrooms. And then hide all the evidence, get rid of all the evidence. I'm pretty certain that's what Rockefeller and Rothschild did. They'll gladly, no, life's eternal and grace is infinite. Right, but it's not fixing itself, Parsons. Okay, you accept hell the moment you deny faith in the glory of God and accept home invasion through delusions of human authority, right? Okay, so we're still stuck in hell. Well, life's eternal and grace is infinite. If they blow it all up, have faith and jump. I love life. It's a gift from God. I love holy covenants. I love making love with my wife. Okay? None of you murdering little Packerwoods on a pussy plantation assholes love making love to your wife and love your kids as much as I love your kids and I love your wife, and I've never put my penis in your wife. Okay? I'm the living embodiment of Lord's Prayer. I'm not that little asshole from Chicago in Africa talking the same old tired bullshit because he runs a bank. Okay? Damn. Okay. Whoo, it makes you really grumpy. But I understand David Rockefeller's head and Rothschild's head. Well, prove it, Parsons. It's not going to happen. They're not going to have faith in God. Okay, that's not my issue. Okay, it's like with the book of Job and Jonah and everybody else is so forth, so forth, so forth. Well, how's your God helping you now? My faith in God is the only thing that's sustaining any logic, reason, love, faith, truth, or sanity among human beings in my sexual group. People have sex, they have a kid. Hey, look, it's Earl. He's like Jesus and David. And Jesus isn't an imaginary cartoon god from a psychotic philanthropy training things to make your children sexually vulnerable. Like, I was sitting there watching the shit, right? And they had the thing about the girls with the Swazel guy or whatever. And anyway, and you went there, why? Because we're living the Lord's Prayer. And you don't have to go to a hotel room with a sociopath with make-believe money and lots of little cronies and bodyguards on his payroll, right? Come on, Medici. Let's figure this out, Gucci. Come on. Let's Versace our way out of this. What was it? Remember it on Saturday Night Live? With, the Gaddafi look. Or rather, if you're just cutting off a thief's hand or doing this, the Gaddafi look, and I'm laughing, and now I look at it and go, God, that's even sadder than the shit that crazy white bitch from Richard Pryor. That's depressing. It's very, very depressing. I think the only way to get through it is to just sit around and have conversations with a 6-foot puka named Harvey all the time. Harvey will tell you what to do. Harvey's a goddamn genius. You'll win the Nobel Prize. And then you'll be the next John Nash with lots of cash coming out your ass. Do I have to sing any Johnny Cash tunes? You don't have to be able to sing a shit lick. You don't have to dance, ball, or nothing. You just have to talk people into accepting shit that comes out of your ass as gold. But gold's not as valuable as water, food, or sexual procreation with a faithful woman. I'm well aware of that, but listen to Harvey. Harvey knows what he's talking about. He won a Nobel Prize. And he threw somebody's desk out of a Princeton dorm room. You got it, motherfucker. Be mindful. Right? I watch the news. It's like they have no respect. The people that mind fuck with drugs and electroshock therapy in El Paso have no respect for you and your children in life. Now, don't get mad because you're just as dumb as fuck as they is. You might as well be standing there going, hey, Pope Leo. Pope Leo. Are you a Leo? Is your Mercury in Leo? Is your Mercury square your Mars? That's probably what it is. Your Mercury square your Mars. That's why you can't get your shit straight. Yeah. Well, that's why there's a lot of stuff about astrology and stuff in the Bible, especially in the book of Daniel. Okay. Because Herschel Steinschneider is my grandmother's cousin, and my mother is his, like niece type person. So it involves, that kind of Charlie Chan at meeting at midnight with Francis Chan, having to have sex with Sidney Toller, pretending he's daddy for money to keep her, and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, I understand all this stuff, guys. Why do I have to see this? Okay, just forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal faithful peace. I don't have to see young girls sitting there saying, well, like the one girl on Keener Lovers, I like sex. It's fun. So if I can make money and make living off just being on my back and having sex with guys all day, that's great. Lots of the women said that. Okay. They've learned it's a psychotic break. I like sex. It's fun. And most of the time, you get to have sex with guys that are cute. They have to wear a condom so you don't get a disease. They said it in Reynosa. They said it in India. They said it in Bangladesh, Bangalore. The one girl said, my boyfriend wants to have sex. She goes, I'm tired. That's all I did all day was have sex. And he gets mad because I don't want to have sex when I get home. It's like, yeah, but he's your boyfriend, right? But the boyfriends at work pay the bills. Right? How emasculating is that? Really bad. So maybe we should go for the Lord's Prayer for the faith of Psalms and the wisdom of Proverbs there. Hey, be a man and don't be a penis on TV, sticking your Deputy Dewey dick in everybody's ear. Be a man, don't stream me on Hulu, and don't fear the disgustingness of their mind fucking you with Wi-Fi while you sleep. Do you understand? Guys, I go to sleep. I know it's going to be uncomfortable, but I wake up in the morning. I know very well that I'm going to get help from Suzuki and Sun Yat-sen and Haile Selassie, and I'm going to firmly kick their ass to Uranus. And they're going to see God floating around the dark side of the moon doing propaganda for genocide operators with satellites. And Georgia satellites, they also have satellites in New Mexico and Arizona. Don't give me no lines and keep your... So the devil could go down to Cochise County, Doñana County, as well as Georgia, where Charlie Daniels is. Right, but Charlie Daniels doesn't have a fucking clue. He thinks it's selling comic books and being a character in a comic book. But when the devil comes down to Cochise County and Doñana County, he or she get their ass kicked. Worse than Rosaria Dawson on Percy Jackson and the whatevers. What is Percy Jackson and the what? I don't remember. All I know is Miami had a big crush on that blonde dude. Yeah, she thinks she's like one of him and the blonde dude who owns a casino. Telling me love you for a million years. She had a big crush on him from the Dwayne Wright Johnson movie. Oh, he was one of the sexiest men alive. The guy from Percy Jackson was one of the sexiest men alive. Howard Stern and Snoop Dogg and Nelly, sexiest men alive. Who else? Who else is sexier than me? The guy who stood up to shut down human trafficking on YouTube all by himself in 2009 and 10 out of Cochise County, Arizona. Who else is sexier? Is Michael J. Fox? I don't think so. Oh, Wesley Crusher. Will Wheaton. Will Wheaton! He's sexier than me. I had a picture, I had a photograph, like he was a member of my family, okay, of Harrison Ford in my bedroom. Harrison Ford's picture would be watching me have sex with my wife. That's okay. So was Gordon B. Hinckley and the rest of the Josie and the Pussycats with Danny Amendola and the Pussycats. I doubt if Danny Amendola does, but a lot of the assholes that make sure he's doing reality TV for bullshit, having sex with different supermodels and having them break up with it and having training all supermission. All their owners and handlers do that too, right? Like, oh, this guy's Trump's handler. Okay, and so who's Kanye West's handler? All right, and that affects Northwest E's a bestie. I've talked to her in prayer. I like her. I really like her. Pull my fingernails out of her hair, my hands. I really like her. Her daddy and her grandma are loony, but I've seen Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I'm like, this poor little girl doesn't stand a chance unless I'm revealed to the world, and it's not more northern exposure. Remember that show? I was just, didn't watch it very much. All I watched on TV was cartoons with Patrick. And then tried to occasionally keep up with sports, but it wasn't too hard because they had SportsCenter on. But it got real boring. It was the same old, Basically, watching SportsCenter was like, Salty Sam came over to the thing and said, if you don't give me the player to that thing, I'm going to throw you on the railroad track. And then he grabbed him, and then he threatened to hold out. And then he signed with the Denver Broncos. Along came Jones and couldn't win a Super Bowl until the super napper came along from the third string or fourth string running back from the Georgia Bulldogs. Terrell Davis, right? Same with Willie Parker. He was like third or fourth string, did not play in college. Willie Parker, Super Bowl winning running back, and Terrell Owens, right? So never give up on your dreams. Okay, just live the Lord's Prayer. Then if you play in the last game of the year of the people that get together and want to continue to do it after high school and college, because they just can't they all want to be Barry White of the bedroom. It's just not enough, baby. It's just not enough. Darling, I can't get enough of your love, babe. Oh, I don't know why. I can't get enough of your love, babe. How can I explain all the things I feel? You've given me so much, girl, you're so unreal still. I keep loving you more and more each time. Girl, what am I gonna... They're showing all this video of mass murder in a country that's being economically exploited through propaganda they refer to as religion, right? And then they keep showing this guy that killed himself and his wife. And you're like, okay. It's Troy McClure all over again. Yeah, except it's a black guy who's like a elected official. Oh, well, that's sad. There's that crazy dude. He's up in space. He's sitting there. You saw God. Yeah, I hope they misquoted your ass, dude. Because if I was your daughter, I'd be awfully upset with you. My pizza hugs weren't good enough. Okay. You got to go up into space for a bunch of propaganda, home invading, child molesting, Temple of Set, Illuminati, Scientology, Vatican, Quorum of the 12 murderers, and say you saw God? Fuck. No. Guys, just because your perception is changed with human invention from a place where the truth of creation cannot exist without human invention doesn't mean you saw God. Okay. That's insane. Okay. God's omniscient and omnipotent. God provides life on this planet for us to worship God through faithfully loving one another eternally. That's telling your daughter and your wife that, you ain't my love enough, right? What's wrong with you? You need some pieces of a dream. I've been running, afraid to look back, been through the motions. I like Lance Webb too. Now I gotta face the facts. Can make no commitments unless they're for real. Yeah, so many times I fell for the lines. Sweet words, no meaning, got to me every time. They told me true love is just a heartbeat away, right? You don't have to pay extortion for your wife and your kids. You can live the Lord's Prayer and not have to go up in some psychotic piece of machinery to look at the stars and possibly kill yourself doing so for economic manipulation and propaganda through don't give me no lines and keep your hands to yourself and lay that golden fiddle at Johnny's feet, okay? You're funny, I know. Look at all these horrible storms these people are having, and they're not telling you why they're happening. They're just telling you they're going to happen, and they're happening. It's to make, most likely, my best perception, I'm not crazy, is to make people miserable and accept more genocidal operations till the time is right to live the Lord's Prayer, according to all the sociopaths that think that their technology is going to do it instead of the eternal spirit of the Messiahs. There's more than one Messiah. There's a man, Krishna Siddhartha, the continuation of lineages, and they're all, the Z Guys movie, they all type each other. No, truth is truth and lies lie. It's like the fucking Louis Gossett and Dennis Quaid movie there with the enemy mine with the turtle lizard guy giving birth to a baby on the moon and shit. You fuckers are crazy. Here's some more Tang. You survived the North Pole Wars? And now you're up here killing people on the moon? Well, as soon as we make our landing pad. Right. And then, I was thinking about the other day when I went to go get my mail. I made a connection to this lady in New York. It's like, it doesn't have to be opulent, but wood is nice. A wood floor. Wouldn't that be difficult to open up I don't know. I do love wood, though. Gosh, I do. If it had like a little, when you open up you have these things that drop down that you could open and close it to let air come in and out. And possibly have a screen thing you could put down for mosquito season so you could open up and have fresh air, but without mosquitoes getting in. And so that would be nice. So there's all these little technical details. I'm like, do you have like Elon Musk's cell phone number? Does he have you on speed dial? So I'm sitting there going like, wood would be nice. Yeah, wood. A wood floor, and then we just have the thing, and you could only, and you'd have awnings over the thing so the water or the rain couldn't come in on the thing. Would that be problematic, though, if it got real cold? No, because it doesn't do it with cement. It wouldn't do it with wood. But I don't know. It's just fun to shoot baskets when it's snowing or, when it's raining and stuff like that. I don't know. But wood everywhere else might go with the floor. We could use stuff that is like a concrete thing that looks like wood, like Pergo or something. That would be nice. And that way it'd be more functional, but it would look homey and give that rustic feel and look to it. So, and they could, have the digital printer guy put it out and then we paint the walls like an Adobe. But I don't want to go through all that. Do they have a concrete that has a brown color instead of a gray color to it? That would be nice. But, so it has more of an earthen look instead of everything's gray, like Mitch's house on Enough. Anybody else like, oh God, who could live there? That is a horrible house. Who came up with that? What kind of slow long Frank Lloyd Wright? Like those garages with the windows in anything like architects may come in, architects may go, and it's like, okay, it's a box for a vehicle that you need in case of emergencies, right? Well, the basketball barn is different. We could repair the vehicles in there. People could. It's more of a rec hall to say, I want to dance, and you know what I mean, and play ball, and and listen to Curtis Blow, not just basketball. You could also listen to Curtis Blow, and I'd like you to know that these are the breaks, because I like These Are the Breaks a little bit better than playing basketball. Anyone else like These Are the Breaks better? Breaks that make you a superstar, and these are the breaks. I'm Curtis Blow, and I want you to know that these are the breaks. I liked that song better than the basketball song myself, but that's an opinion, right? I liked Kool Moe Dee better than Curtis Blow. Yeah, I like Kool Moe Dee. I like the way he broke it down. I liked Wild Wild West and They Want Money and stuff like that, because it was like, okay, I get it. I understand the culture, and I liked Kool Moe Dee. Yeah, he was one of my favorite rappers when I was. Yeah. It's crazy and it's stupid as part of the rap game, but he's very tolerable, And so, anybody else like Kool Moe Dee? Guess not. So there's no account for taste, but And I was connecting to Amy today again. I was saying, all those times when you went out was out of the guy. I knew about it. I just didn't care. No, I cared. I just don't get insane because I love children and I don't want children to be stuck in insanity with assholes. Say, like, you go there and your wife's bar hopping with idiots. And then you go kill the guy and tell your wife, you're the cause of this. And then your kids end up being raised by the people that raised her. Oh, that's not good. Right. Okay. So, and my mom's passed away. Right. And mom was so tired of all the abuse from the Vatican, the Quorum of the 12, and all those assholes, the virtual science, all the virtual present asshole people. She just wanted some time like Peggy Pettis. I don't want to raise kids. I want to do that. I just want some time for me. I can't cover up my feelings. And then remember, I played that for little Miss Pettis over there. And then old dumbass calls, are you okay? She's with me, you fucking prick. She's not. She's not with a guy who sits and watches her daughter be drugged and have sex with her boyfriend for Homeland Security. She's fine. Okay. She's just not going to be able to because you guys aren't going to allow it to happen because you want to be president. You want to be prime minister. You want to be the richest Spacely Sprockets and Coswell Cogs in the entire world, right? So we know how horrible you people are. And we know how it affects people intellectually, emotionally, sexually. When women realize that they have to do things in survival mode and they've been sexually abused and groomed from the time they're young, it's like Vivian said to me in Sierra Vista. She said, I'm glad I didn't have any babies because I'd sell my body to take care of my babies, right? And taking care of yourself is taking care of babies. And then, you're going to have to find a way, keep your heart open because love will find a way. I like Pablo Cruz too. What's the other one? What you gonna do when she says goodbye? Anybody else like Pablo Cruz? Okay. Earl, I do that a lot. Of course. I have an abstract mind that's painting a picture of reality. It's like, where does he get this all from? I have a lot of voices coming at me at once and everybody's different. And not everybody's like you, kid. I'm not just talking specifically to one person. Like in that other one, they were like, okay, he was talking to the athlete or whatever they was talking about. No, at the end of that one where I said, has he figured it out? No, I was talking about Donald Trump. I wasn't talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis Antetokounmpo ain't president and doesn't have a virtual presence in everyone's house that the government says he can. It was just about everybody's house except for the political competition and the political competition's propaganda tool bags. I mean, yeah. No, yours, and then if yours gets recorded and it's amazing and outstanding and right there with the Book of Job and all that, it gets deleted. And then Rockefeller and Rothschild are like, and what's going to happen? Life's eternal, grace is infinite. But your God ain't winning. God isn't supposed to win. We're supposed to worship God, so we're not winners or losers. We're lovers, faithfully. I'll be loving you eternally. I like Roger Whiskers, too. My favorite, and it doesn't bring PTSD anymore. When I tried to play that for the Billy Graham set and all that, and then they had me incarcerated the next day. So I don't get all, what is it? For you are beautiful, and I have loved you dearly, more dearly than... Yeah, for a while there, I went through PTSD every time I heard that song because I tried to share that with the people that incarcerated me at the library the day before they incarcerated me. And that'll do that. Oh, there's lots of things. Brad Barnett's penis, for your eyes only, and I thought it was only have eyes for you, and I had trouble. I'd go through PTSD with that every time I heard that song from the Mingos, and I said, no, fuck that, I'm taking that song back. I'm not going to have some sexual predator from the military and look at his genitalia on emails that my kids could see every time I hear the flamingo say, my love must be a kind of blind love. You have to take back, like I used to tell the kids in lockup when they got sexually assaulted by, remember Daniel, didn't your dad ever do? No, my first time my dad ever paid attention to me was when I was 3 to sodomize me. And I went, oh, fuck. And I went up to Dave and said, Dave, I go, will you do the paperwork tonight? I just offended on Daniel. He looks at me like, what? And then I told him what happened. He goes, oh, you need to go over there and you need to fix that right now, Earl. Okay. He goes, I'll do the paperwork. I will do the paperwork because that wasn't my offense. That was yours. You need to go straighten that out. So I went back, and we were not supposed to touch the kid, but he wasn't looking. He wouldn't look me in the eye. And I picked up his little face, and I picked it up and looked at him and straight in the eye. And I sat there, and he started crying, and I'm crying just thinking about it. I said, no, Daniel, that didn't happen to me. If anybody in my family, my brother-in-laws, my dad, no. Okay. And just because we don't know what happened, maybe that happened to your dad too. And like I've told everybody with my dad and my brother-in-laws and stuff like that, when bad things happen, we can stop it. And that's how we be a gracious good shepherd, which people considered a hero of our family. Okay? So no, my dad didn't rape me. My brother-in-laws didn't rape me. And when guys came from a bar and had sex and left the kids all alone, my brother-in-laws would step up and take care of the kids and have them come in the house. And sometimes it wasn't that. Sometimes the dads were hard workers, but they couldn't watch the kid because the woman went hopping bars. And the dad couldn't take care of the kid well enough, so he understood that what was good for his kid was to have a family with a good family union that could take care of him because there was a woman at home to do it. So Mr. Chavez said, James should stay with you and Gabe and Mike. And, Patrick, growing up, Patrick, who's your favorite hockey player? Jeremy Roenick. Who's your favorite basketball player? Kevin Johnson. And who's your favorite football player? James. James would light up. The linebacker and fullback for the Artemis Panthers. 3-time state champs, right? Who's your favorite football player? James. James would be like, Kevin Johnson, Jeremy Roenick, and James Chavez. All right. Not Emmett Smith, not Rob Tidwell doing backflips at ASU. No, James, yeah, who we saw play in Animus and in Duncan, Arizona. Yeah, the little kid, Tanner, the one little skinny kid that got out of the way. First time Tanner went and wiped out this kid on the kickoff, and Linda laughed. I'm like, Linda, that's not funny. He lowered his head and annihilated the kid. Well, after that, the rest of the game was hilarious. Patrick noticed it. He sat there and said, "Look, Dad." The little guy that did that, he sat and like he was going to gauge him, and he olayed. He did the Matador thing, and Tanner would slide about 5 to 10 yards and get up with grass all over his face after that every time they did the kickoffs. It was hilarious. He wiped the little skinny kid out first time, and every time after that, he fell for it every time. Tanner would lower his head, goes, "I'll break him in half, make him bleed. Damn it. We're Polynesians trying to pay our bills with crazy white people in Utah, right?" No. In football, we trust, huh? I trust in Earl, the guy from the book of Revelation, Spirit of John, who dives into the bowels of hell, Cochise County and Doña Ana County, to retrieve the keys to the kingdom so we could live the truth of the Gospels instead of the myth of the murderers and liars that have home invasion through you signing legal contracts you say are laws. Okay. Gravity and photosynthesis are provided by God. Okay. Thanks, guys. Love you.